I was born in Srinagar. I was raised in Vancouver, Canada, hence the accent. I came to India for the first time when I was around 6, just to meet relatives, and then I went back. I relocated to India in 2012. Before that, my parents would keep bringing me here and taking me back. I look so pretty on that. So, so my parents would keep bringing me here and taking me back. Before that, just to train in Hindustani classical music. So I'm trained in Hindustani. And more than the training that I got from my guru, it was self-taught. So I would listen to a lot of music. And that's one thing that I would like to mention over here, which is that it's not necessary that whatever we learn is what we learn from books, or what we learn in our lectures, or what we learn from our professors. A lot of it is what we imbibe externally. So anyone or any source of information, anyone who says something that, you know, kind of switches something on in you, or it could be a child, you know, it could be a little thing that they say and that might impact you. Don't think that he's a child, so he's not worthy of teaching you something. For me, I think a lot of learning for me has been by kids who were probably half my age, but they sang phenomenally. And I would sit and I would constantly listen to them and learn entire compositions from a 5-year-old child or a 6-year-old child, just because they were so talented. And that is something that we have so much information and we have so much influence around us. Don't ever let your ego maybe, or maybe your sense of knowing yourself interfere with that. You know? There's a lot to get from everyone, and everyone comes with their own body of information. So for me, that's been something that's helped me grow as an artist. Back to my story. After I came to India, I participated in a couple of reality shows, and I was on Saregamapa, I was on Junoon. There was a show with Rahat Fateh Ali Khan Saab, who is Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Saab's nephew. Then there were a few more reality shows here and there. I was doing a lot of advertisements because that's where the money was. And of course, so I've not taken a penny from my parents since I was 12, by the way, guys. So, thank you. Thank you. So, when I was 12, I started doing little jobs, you know, like selling the newspaper, or, you know, selling milk, or just little things. So in Canada, it's different. It's not like the doodh wala coming with, you know, with pal. Pal? Yeah. It's not like that. It's very different there. It's a different culture. So, so we used to go and get packets of milk or gallons of milk, and we just leave it on people's doorsteps in the morning. And that was like easy money, you know. You made a couple of bucks, pocket money. As soon as I went into, so education in Canada is free until you're in grade 12. After that, if you're not on scholarships, you're kind of messed up because it's very expensive. And I ended up getting 7 scholarships into university. So that part of it was paid. And then, so basically I was either working or I was studying off of money given to me by my school or by universities. So when I read self-made, I do agree with that to quite an extent. But having said that, I also feel that nobody is self-made if you think about it, because there are always people to help you. Someone becomes a medium for you to achieve what you achieve. If Rahman sir hadn't been a medium for me, there's no way I would have won a national award, you know? So there's always someone who becomes a medium to achieving something. So self-made, yeah, maybe, you know, in a lot of ways. But that happened. I came to India. I started doing a lot of ad work. That's how I paid off my bills in India. And then there was this phase where someone told me that I had a bad voice. And that was it, guys. Another thing for you to take a little bit of, to learn from my mistakes. I'm telling you to learn from my mistakes. So I stopped singing for 3 years. And this is because one person from the industry told me that I didn't have it in me. And that was wrong in one way, but a blessing in disguise in another, because I think after that happened, I stopped singing, but I did go into music composition. So it's like one door shut and another opened. And I think it's more because I was so passionate towards music. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm not singing, but at least I'm making music. Or, you know, I'm creating a beat, or I'm creating a melody. And then off late, I've discovered a love for lyric writing. So I've started writing lyrics and that. So always remember, nothing is permanent. That's another thing. And that's something I talk about in Oceans Rained as well. That a lot of times, it seems like the end of the road. Or it might seem like, yaar, what do I do now? Or I flunked a class. I failed a class. Now what am I going to do? End of the world. Never. It's a phase. Everything is a phase. If I'm successful today, if you consider me successful today, that is also just a phase. There will be a time when I'll not be current anymore. Someone else will replace me. Everything is a phase, and we need to constantly redevelop ourselves. At that point, when I stopped singing and I started composing and writing my own music, had I thought ki nahi yaar, matlab singing is over, my career is over, that's it, end of the world, I could have done anything. I would not be where I am right now. You know? I decided that nahi theek hai, if that's not working, let's kind of, you know, bend the way and figure something else out. There's always hope, there's always a different way. And one little mess up, one little hiccup, there's going to be, you do not know what's going to be beyond that. You know, it's very similar to the analogy of, you know how when you're driving on hills, when you're going up a hill, it's difficult and you have no idea what's going to be on the other side. You have no idea what's going to be on there. But when you go through that entire patience and perseverance of going to the top of the hill, then you realize that, oh my God, there's such a beautiful valley on the other side. But you have to go through that process. You have to climb up. So never, ever, ever think that it's the end of the road. There's going to be 100 things, but you need to be, you know, very well resolved that